very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Friday, September 1st? Hope you are looking forward to just a wonderful day. The weather could not be nicer. It is just gorgeous today on this beautiful Friday, September 1st. This is our big weekly Take the Points show. And as you see, I've got my own name there underneath the screen as Bruce Dickey here, of course. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Thank you so much. That's my email address if you ever have any kind of comment or something. But the other boys, they couldn't be here today. Taking a look over here. The other fellas unable to be in the shop today. Actually, as they are. I think they are in their various shops. Actually, come to think of it, I think Lucas is maybe in like at a show, a big homeowner show or pole barn show, a pole barn show of some kind. And I think that Weeze said he wished he could have been here, but he had all kinds of end of month things going on. This being September 1st, I'm shooting it on August 31st. So that just kind of already know when and where you are. But like I said, what's going on here on this gorgeous September 1st. I tell you what I'm going to tell you about, at least for Friday, and then I'll give you a few Saturday events. It's all live music here on Friday night. Up at Pinky's in Effingham. Of course, that's down on the harbor there, the marina. I guess it wouldn't be a harbor. On the marina in Effingham, Lake Effingham, or Lake Sarah, pardon me. It's Indigo Children. Indigo Children are playing at Pinky's. I'm guessing that's the name of the band, not the color stream. This is Indigo Children. They're not Blue Kids. That'd be actually, I like Indigo Children as a name for a band, but I like Blue Kids too. That's pretty cool. Indigo Children at Pinky's. That's at 6:30 tonight, and that is going to be also in the area. Mike McDevitt is playing tonight. He's going to be at Tuscan Hills up there, just by the interstate. You know where it is, on the north edge there of Effingham. And finally, at the Effingham Event Center. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Boombox 80s Pop Rock music. It's the Boombox 80s Pop Rock. Boy, I tell you what, I worked at a radio station in the 1980s, and there was a lot of garbage pop rock in the 1980s. If you're going to the pop rock at the 80s Pop Rock, God bless you. Have a good time. I hope you enjoy it. What else is going on this weekend? Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, September 2nd presents an entirely different set of fun as at Charlie Brown Park on Saturday. It's the big jamboree, the Flora American Legion Riders, the Flora Legion Riders, hosting a jamboree on the 2nd and the 3rd. That's going to be out at the fairgrounds of Charlie Brown Park. Activities are going to start at 8 a.m. each day. Campsites are available. Going to be vendors, food vendors, raffles both days. Also going to be a car and motorcycle show on Saturday, the 2nd. Games, a bouncy house for the kids, cornhole tournament, music, motorcycle games, and all kinds of more stuff. If you'd like more information, give them a call at 618-367-5133. They'll be able to help you out. What's going on over at Sailor Springs, ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday? It's a benefit breakfast over at the Clay City Sailor Springs American Legion. It's going to be at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's a biscuits and gravy breakfast. The breakfast will be served from 7 to 10. Cost is by donation. Give early, give often, and the menu is biscuits and gravy, juice, coffee, as well as white and chocolate milk. You know they'll do a good job. I tell you what you can do. You can go do that for breakfast. Go to Sailor Springs, get your breakfast, go take a nap or something, go home, take a nap, and then at 12:30, head just a little bit south of Flora, just past, I believe, the county line into Wayne County. It's the Elm River Chowder. The Elm River at the Elm River Chowder Grounds. That's east of Route 45. The Elm River Chowder will be held Saturday at the Chowder Grounds. Cost of the chowder now is by donation as well. Vegetable prep will begin no later than 7 a.m. So if you want to get out there early and help them make it, that's cool. Volunteers are welcome, they say. Chowder will be for sale by the bowl or with seating available by 12:30 p.m. Chowder also going to be dipped by bulk. Please don't bring glass or plastic containers. I'm not sure what you bring if you didn't bring glass or plastic. There will also be pulled pork sandwiches, as well as nachos, pork burgers, hot dogs, pie by the slice or whole, and cold drinks. Also going to be live music. I guess you could bring those. Maybe they have those paper things, the paper containers. I don't know what they'll have. But Bill Reed, our cameraman and our man over there at actually, I think he's not a builder anymore. He's almost, I believe, is a engineer over there at Salem. He does a wonderful job for Wabash. He is going to be helping out. And if you see old Bill at the Elm River Chowder, by all means, say hello. Again, pulled pork sandwiches, nachos, pork burgers, hot dogs, pie by the slice, cold drinks, also live music and a 50-50 draw. Movies in the park Saturday. This is fun. This will be at Ken Mundy. Ken Mundy's going to have the big park open as this will be from 6:30 till 8:30. It'll be getting relatively dark at 6:30, not quite sundown. But the movie Crudes, A New Age, will be presented at the Ken Mundy Park, sponsored by the Ken Mundy Methodist Church. What else? Live music. Always love live music. Got to tell you all about live music. And at 5 to 7 o'clock at Pinky's on Saturday night, Chris Lee will be playing. So that'll be a lot of fun. What else going on today? Well, you might notice the jacket. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is National College Colors Day. Happens every year on the Friday before Labor Day. National College Colors Day encourages everyone to display their team spirit across the U.S. Students, parents, family, fans, and alum will be wearing their team colors. Be sure you're celebrating by wearing your college team's colors and or apparel. Team spirit's long been a foundation of cheering athletics to victory. Wearing the colors of the school as well as singing the school song goes along with the energy of the day. And I must admit, I can sing the school song. I know Illinois Loyalty by heart. I've sang it my entire life. But in the band, you especially had to know it. The problem is, whenever we were in the band singing it, we learned the alternate lyrics, which are not as complimentary to the football team as the regular song is. So it's kind of a, whenever I sing it, I have to make sure that I am minding my P's and Q's. But this is College Colors Day. Enjoy it. Wear your orange and blue if you're a Illini fan, or maroon if you're SIU. Light blue if you're Eastern. By all means, enjoy it. What else is today, ladies and gentlemen? National Hotel Employee Day on September 1st each year. This honors nearly 2 million folks who work in the hotel industry across the United States. Hotel employees play a key role in some of Americans' most important life events, whether helping facilitate family reunions, preparing for wedding receptions, or assisting guests with vacation activities. Hotel employees are the backbone of any hotel stay. And in addition, of course, they keep guests safe, give back to their communities, and are critical to making our nation's nearly $2 trillion travel and tourism industry run smoothly. I got to tell you, I love hotel employees. We treat them, whenever we go to a hotel, we always tip nicely. These folks are terrifically unsung, and they do need folks. You need to take care of your employees at the hotel. Some different ways to show employee appreciation. Thank them. By golly, that's all you got to do. Well, maybe not all, but thank a hotel employee in person. Leave a good review of your hotel stay online. Maybe create a bucket list of must-stay hotels and visit those places, as well as tag them on social media if they do a great job, and put photos on there. And that's a really nice thing to do. This date started back in 2022 by the American Hotel and Lodging Association. Meant to thank hotel employees for their hard work and dedication. Maybe that's because the hotel foundation wasn't going to pay them. I don't know. That's cynical. I am not that cynical. The next item, however, is maybe the best day of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in on this years before it became popular. Today is National Burnt Ends Day. Are you ready for some flavor and sauce? National Burnt Ends Day on September 1st is your barbecued celebration. Once considered trimmings or leftovers, burnt ends come from the point of the brisket. However, these days, burnt ends take center stage in a barbecue basket of smoky flavor and goodness. That's some good-looking burnt ends right there. Of course, the name comes from the longer cooking time required for tender brisket. As a result, the thinner ends get a little bit charred and maybe a little tougher, so that makes them a little bit more chewy. But boy, there's a ton of taste out there in the burnt ends. And now, if you haven't eaten yet this morning, I apologize for this picture that I'm going to show you, because that picture looked great. That picture looks great. But I got to warn you in advance of this picture. Look at that. Look at those burnt ends ready to go. Oh, heavens. Celebrate the day by sampling burnt ends. Other ways to celebrate, maybe visit the barbecue joint, visit several barbecue joints. Take a trip maybe to Kansas City for some authentic burnt ends barbecue. There's good stuff all over I know a place in Champaign and Urbana that does a great job. St. Louis is loaded with great burnt ends joints. The American Royal Association out of Kansas City founded National Burnt Ends Day a couple of years ago to promote Kansas City barbecue, as well as their mouth-watering burnt ends. But it's not just Kansas City. You can get behind burnt ends wherever you want. I'm all for it. What's on TV? What do you want to see on television? Ladies and gentlemen, high school sports tonight. We've got football coming back to you. Had a great game we'll talk about it in just a little bit. But the Alton Marquette Explorers will be heading to Salem to take on the Wildcats. This will be on Catch TV, channel 98. Again, that tonight at 7 p.m. Now, that's a time change from last week. Last week, we had to start at 8, and because of the heat, tonight it's going to be just gorgeous. It's going to be 7 o'clock start, so do get that in. MLB, Major League Baseball, Cubs have a doubleheader. This is a big day. We'll get to the baseball later on as well. This is a big day for the Chicago Cubs. They play 2 against the Reds. They can pretty much, can't really knock the Reds out, but they can give the Reds a pretty good kick in the gut if they win them both. This is 12:10 today. Jordan Wicks takes on Graham Ashcraft, and that's on Marquee, channel 597. Followed up tonight at 5:40, Chicago at Cincinnati. They don't know who's pitching game 2 yet. They'll figure it out. 7:10 tonight, the Tigers at the White Sox. That's on the NBC Sports Chicago, channel 643. Eduardo Rodriguez versus Touki Toussaint. Also at 7:15 tonight, the Pirates are at St. Louis. Mitch Keller versus Dakota Hudson. That's Bally, channel 630. 9:10 tonight on Major League Baseball Network. It's the Braves at the Dodgers. That's a great game. You got the 2 top teams in the National League playing. Max Fried versus Julio Urias. And that's on MLB Network Channel 599. And finally, love it. It's football season. We're going to talk about football season all weekend long. But tonight, Friday night, college football as well as high school football. Let's see what we can watch here. Central Michigan is at Michigan State tonight. That is at 6:30. It's on Fox Sports 1, Channel 610. Also on the ACC network, it's Miami of Ohio taking on Miami of Florida. Boy, I don't like Miami of Florida. I don't like them at all this year. That's on, like I said, on ACC Network, Channel 159. ESPN has Louisville at Georgia Tech. And finally, CBS Sports Network, Stanford late at Hawaii, starting at 10 o'clock. Oh, it's football all night long. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. We'll be back right after this. We'll talk a little high school football, high school volleyball, high school baseball. Going to talk a little bit of, going to talk some college football after that. Going to talk Major League Baseball. And the NFL's coming up. You're watching the Take the Point show on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Back right after these. Stick around.
At Midwest Farm and Land, we've got a team of dedicated land, home, and commercial experts ready to help.
We understand that buying or selling a property can be extremely stressful. Let our folks take care of you and help you find your perfect piece of property.
Whether it's recreational or hunting land, farmland, homes, or commercial, we're there to help.
Local experts with national reach. If you're interested, give us a call, 618-532-1961, or check us out on the website, midwestfarmco.com.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
For service beyond the surface, call Carter Trucking in Fairfield. Carter's trucks are ready to haul your big freight and grain. So whatever you call Jeremy Carter, the Mucho Mulcho Man, the driveway doctor, the gravel guru, the pothole pirate, the rockin' redneck, the smooth operator, the mudhole master, or the happy hauler, just call him. 842-2022 to haul your big freight, grain, and more with trucks from Carter Trucking, Williamson Drive in Fairfield.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on this beautiful Friday, September 1st. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Take the Point show. There you see my email address. If you'd like to get a hold of me sometime, you can also give me a call, 665-9970 here in the 618 area code. What is going on in high school sports this week? Well, let me tell you, before I show you, we start talking football. I get one of the things folks ask me about most often. Bruce, when are y'all going to be? When and where are you going to be at different places? Well, you can go online to wabash.net and there's you hit a button there. It sends you to Facebook to our schedule page, which tells you exactly what's coming up. But I can tell you, next week, already talked about tonight's game, which is the football game over at Salem. Next week, we will have on Tuesday night, we'll have volleyball, 2 different games of volleyball. It'll be Dietrich at South Central on Channel 99, I believe, and on Channel 100, Wayne City is at Sisney. Those volleyball games starting at 6 o'clock for the JV contest, both of them on Tuesday night. Thursday afternoon, it's baseball, as Weber will be in Louisville taking on North Clay. And then next Friday, it's down to Fairfield for football, high school football. Cesar Valier will be taking on the Mighty Mules. So, all that coming up. What happened last week? An interesting weekend for football, as I tell you what, the Salem Wildcats had, they are tied for first. Of course, it's not a conference game, but Salem at 1-0, they defeated Centralia 34 to 28 in an exciting overtime matchup over there at Salem last weekend. The wildest part about that game, it was just back and forth. Centralia scored first. Salem came back, tied it up. Centralia took the lead going into the halftime. All that happened in the first quarter. Nobody scored in the second quarter. The defenses stepped up a little bit. Well, that kind of changed in the third quarter as Salem came out, got the kick to start the third quarter. They drove down, scored, and they did a little onside / pooch kick to get the ball back. Took it and scored again. So Centralia had gone into the halftime up 14-7. Before they could turn around, before they could get the ball back, they were down 21 to 14. So an outstanding job by Salem to basically just get to turn around the game. And then they went ahead and scored again. Later on that quarter, made it 28-20. Centralia came back to score late in the game. They came back with about a minute to go, scored with a little over a minute, and tied the game. They went for 2 points, tied the game at 28. It was an exciting contest as the Wildcats were able to. The Wildcats had a little bit of time left when they got the football back. Kickoff, return for a touchdown. Woo-hoo! It's coming back. There was a penalty right in front of 2 different officials, and that's bad. So that came back. Ends up going to overtime. Salem holds defensively to open the overtime. They held Centralia to only 1 yard and able to take over. And then it was all on Jeremiah's hand, on Reinhardt's hands as they gave him the ball twice. He gets into the end zone, touchdown, 34-28 in favor of Salem. So a wonderful game. Salem goes out to 1-0. Different stories on the other 2 football schools that we cover. Flora, home against Carmi. Carmi lost a lot of players from last year, and we were hoping that Flora would have a little bit better time of it, but Carmi jumped right out on them and took a 30-0 lead in the halftime, and were able to cruise into the second half and able to hold off the Wolves 52-16. A nice win for the Carmi Bulldogs as Carmi goes to 1-0 in, well, let's see, there's the Black Diamond Conference, as you see. Carmi 1-0 in conference play. 5 teams at 0-1, including Fairfield, as Friday night they had Freeburg travel over. Of course, Freeburg is a little bit bigger than Fairfield. Well, that's the Flora lineup. There's the Fairfield one. 660 kids to Fairfield's 418, but that really, it kind of told the tale late in the game, as I understand it. From what I understood, the two teams swapped touchdowns. It was tied up 14-14 at half. They swapped touchdowns again in the third quarter, but then in the fourth quarter, the Mules players began to heat up, get cramps, and there were too many folks on the other side listening to the Fairfield folks tell it. So Freeburg wins a nice game at Fairfield. Fairfield falls to 0-1, and like you saw there, Flora also at 0-1. That leads us to this weekend's matchups, where Fairfield will be down at El Dorado. El Dorado won last week. They're in first place. They defeated Edwards County 12-7. So not your older brother's El Dorado squad, as they're not scoring too many points. I can remember, a few years ago when El Dorado and Fairfield played to a 60-58 overtime game. Wild one. But you've got Fairfield playing El Dorado, and then you have Flora also next week. They're going to be down at Christopher on this Friday tonight, down at Christopher, taking on CZR. Always a tough opponent, the Bearcats, especially at home. So best of luck to both the Mules and to the Wolves, as well as, of course, to the Wildcats. But we'll be in Salem tonight for the Wildcat contest versus the Alton Marquette Explorers. Salem has a little better shot of it than if you look at Alton Marquette. They lost last week to Bethalto pretty good, but that's also a big school too. So you can't really judge too much from past performances of the teams. Or let's put it this way: don't put too much stock into what they did against other schools. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. By the way, before I get going, one of the other reasons Carmi might have jumped out like that, they had a little revenge. Flora beat them late last year and that's how they were able to get into the playoffs. A little revenge might have been playing on their minds. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Back right after these. Stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Oh, I couldn't be more excited. It's college football season. It is. It's here. It's on us. And I can tell you from personal experience that this is the time of year when occasionally televisions have to be divided nicely between couples. There are occasionally people out there who don't like college football. I don't understand that kind of thinking, but there are occasional folks. So just go easy, watch it in moderation, unless you unless you're by yourself or something like that, or with like-minded folks who want to watch college football. Some people don't want to. Like I say, I don't understand it. Who knows? But each week, I've been reading a kid named Jason Kirk for about the last 10, 15 years. It boggles my mind that it's been that long, but he and a fellow named Spencer Hall started shutdown fullback, which has morphed into a variety of things when they were in college, and that's the cool part about one of the cool parts about the internet is how you can begin following folks that you have no idea who they are, or just of things of a similar interest. He started putting out a grid probably 14 or 15 years ago, that told you when and where particular games were going to be played. I have always found this grid to be invaluable. Just invaluable. Here is for this week. Go to jasonkirk.fyi if you want to see this more. This, for instance, is Thursday night's matchups. And he divides this into the one game you gotta watch, as well as other games that are of interest, as well as if you really need something to watch and it's just football. So there are numerous games on ESPN, ESPN Plus, under the Thursday night. Maybe watch, or you gotta watch. Florida versus versus Utah on ESPN makes sense because that game has the only ranked team going on Thursday night. No ranked teams going on Friday night. As you're taking a look at that, it is Miami. It says who is the real Miami on the ACC network. That's Miami of Ohio versus Miami of Florida, of course. Stanford at Hawaii at 10 o'clock. And by the way, these times are Eastern. Stanford at Hawaii is a game I am going to try to get home in time to see, just because, well, I like college football, but I like watching college football late at night too. That's good, clean fun. If you find me looking for me on a Saturday night, I can hopefully be found watching college football at night. It's a good time. A few of the other games. Here's Saturday at noon. It is Colorado versus TCU. Boy, oh boy, that is going to be that's going to be something. And there are several games in the May watch category, but this also, the Indiana at 2:30, Indiana versus Ohio State. That's on CBS. Boise State versus Washington ought to be a good one. Buffalo versus Air Raid Wisconsin. So you think, what is Air Raid Wisconsin? Well, that is what the Wisconsin Badgers are claiming that they are going to do this season. Wisconsin is getting a huge amount of love from people across the country, people across Vegas, people across Atlantic City, all the gamblers thinking, not all, but there are a lot of people just going crazy for the Wisconsin Badgers because they've changed their offense. I just don't. Changing your offense takes a little bit of time, but anyway, that'll be a good one on Saturday afternoon. Buffalo versus Air Raid Wisconsin, because Buffalo's a good team, and then you look at Saturday night. The big one there, of course, for me is Toledo versus Illinois at 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. Not a ton of other great games. Well, you're going to find something good. West Virginia, Penn State ought to be solid, but we'll get into the games, all the games or in particular here in just a few minutes. But here is Sunday's games. There are 4 games on Sunday, including Florida State versus LSU. Oregon State plays on Sunday, and then on Monday night, Clemson is at Duke. This is it's like fair season, folks. If you get the opportunity to spend a Saturday with the television watching college football, there are much worse ways that you can spend a Saturday. We gambled last week. We're going to do it again this week. The guys have all made their picks. I'll give you all those picks when we return, and also wrap up a little bit about last week's. We did not do as well as hoped, but that happens. We'll be back in just a sec here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. My name is Bruce Dickey, and back in a sec. Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local Hankook tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
I was talking about some of the games on earlier in the weekend, top 25 games. For instance, like I said, on Thursday night, you've got Florida versus number 14 Utah. That game is it's difficult to judge because the quarterback for Utah is a game time decision on Thursday night. Again, I'm shooting this on Thursday afternoon before I head up to T-Town for a volleyball game, but that's a difficult call. I don't think any of us bet that one. No, none of us are on that particular game. But yeah, I cannot in good conscience tell you either way on that. Moving to Saturday, we've got a full slew of games. You remember, folks, we do the Super Dogs as well, which we pick games that are where we think there are potential upsets. Somebody that is a 4-point underdog has a potential to win that game as an underdog, and I'll give you those as well. We're each picking 4 games in addition to the Super Dogs. We did this last year. We ended up a couple of games over 500, probably just enough to pay the juice. It was fun, had a good time doing it. I bet you'd like to win, and we're going to try to win a little bit more money. We're trying this year for sure. We're trying, and I only say that because we need to try harder. On the first weekend's games of the 4 of us in total, we were 3-5. 3-5 on the weekend as Weeze, Lucas, and I each got one right. Weeze had UMass at New Mexico State. They beat. I had the other side of that. UMass covered. Actually beat New Mexico State. Ohio. I had Ohio under 49 versus San Diego State. That game was a cakewalk. That was an easy win, as I think it only got to maybe 30. And also San Jose State at USC. Lucas had San Jose State plus 30.5. It looked about halfway through the second quarter that USC started blowing them out, but then San Diego State pulled them back, and it ended up being relatively close. Certainly not 30 points worth, as San Diego State able to reel back in UCLA. What are we doing this weekend? Well, it's easy to tell you. Let's move to Saturday and talk about some of those games. I'll start here with Weeze. He has Kent State at Central Florida, and that he's got under 57.5. I'm not sure exactly what he's seeing in Kent State or UCF that is going to stay under, but I think that might be a weather game. Come to think of it, I believe that is a weather game on Thursday night, isn't it? Yeah, Kent State UCF. That's a Thursday night game in Orlando, or is UCF's in Tampa. So they're thinking there. At 57.5, it's going to be a weather game, and then they're not going to get that high. That's probably a pretty solid bet. Also, he's got Wisconsin minus 24 versus Buffalo. So he's picking Wisconsin to cover that against Buffalo. That's a big number. He's also got Nevada at UCLA or USC over the 65. If I was betting that, I probably wouldn't agree with that. USC is a good team, but Nevada is dreadful. Maybe USC gets 65. They're going to need it just about all on their own because Nevada's not going to score that much. And he's got Louisville at Georgia Tech under 50.5. That might be a weather one as well. What's Jamie doing? You knew Jamie was going to take the Indiana game, right? Indiana has Ohio State coming in. Ohio State is ranked in the top 5. It's the first game of the year. It's a conference game at Bloomington. Of course. It's 30.5 points. Of course Jamie's taking Indiana to cover. He's just picking them cover a 30.5, so that makes, I guess, sense. He's staying in the Big Ten. He's taking Michigan to cover against Eastern Carolina. East Carolina is minus 36 up in the Big House. Or pardon me, plus 36 in the Big House. That's a big number, especially without Harbaugh, but maybe with the assistant coach going instead of Harbaugh coaching. That might make a difference. Jamie also has the Utah game versus Florida on Thursday night. He's taking Utah minus 4.5, so he must be counting on Cam Rising to play, maybe counting on the revenge factor since Florida beat Utah last season. I kind of like that one, but I'm staying away from it. And he's also got the USC and Nevada over 65. So two out of two picking USC Nevada over. I really don't think I would. What does Lucas have going on this weekend's games? Well, Alabama minus 38.5 versus Middle Tennessee State. Alabama probably figures they can just roll a football out and score for get a 6-touchdown lead on Middle Tennessee State. I probably wouldn't do that, but I might do first half Alabama. Although I mentioned that stat last week about 37-point favorites have covered pretty much for the last 10 years in the first week of the season. He has the big game on Monday, LSU versus at FSU. It's actually not at FSU. It's at a neutral site. He's taking LSU -2.5, and he and I are both doing that. I've got that one as well, as I recall. Yeah, we both have LSU -2.5. You say, Bruce, why do you have LSU -2.5? Their quarterback's back. Jalen Daniels is outstanding, and he's back for LSU. So I just think that's a fine pick for Lucas and for me, or I wouldn't be doing it. Also, he has Tulane -6.5 versus South Alabama. South Alabama put their program back together, and they're not nearly as good as they were the first year or two. They've kind of stumbled backwards, and he has Carolina at North Carolina at South Carolina over 64.5. That's a lot of points, but not a lot of defense for North Carolina. Who else am I taking? Well, personally, I have the Fresno State is at Purdue, +3.5. Go Bulldogs. Now you say, Bruce, you're betting with your heart. You just don't want Purdue to win. Yeah, that's part of it, but Fresno State's a good team. They're very well coached, and this is the first outing for Ryan Walters. 3.5 is too many points at Purdue. Purdue's not that good, so I'm going to take Fresno State to cover the 3.5. Like I said, I have LSU -2.5 against Florida State. I've got Hawaii on Friday night. Oh, I said I was going to watch the game. Hawaii's at home. Stanford coming in. +3. Yeah. Go Rainbow Warriors. I'm all for you. And finally, I also have the UMass, the Minutemen, at Auburn, given 35. This is a different UMass team. I'm wrong. I picked them. I picked against them last week. I'm picking with them this week. That's a good University of Massachusetts team. They'll stay within 5 touchdowns of Auburn, won't they? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Superdogs. What's the Superdog picks? As I told you, if you recall, this is the games. These are the upset specials that we think might win outright, and we do like to do these. We don't like to step on somebody else's foot. Like to each have a separate Superdog. As I was the last one to put my Superdogs in, I came up with one. This is the one I want. That was already taken. Well, I said, doggone it. I came up with another one. That was what I want. Well, it was already taken. So 2 of them I agree with wholeheartedly. Those are Louisiana Monroe +10 versus Army. That's Weeza's Superdog. That's a good pick. Louisiana Monroe is it's not that Louisiana Monroe's very good. They're okay. Army's going to struggle this year. And I also I thought North Texas getting money against Cal. Cal's not a good football team, and it's at North Texas. So yeah, give me North Texas all day long against Cal +6.5. What did Jamie do? Jamie takes Duke against Clemson. That's the Monday night game, +13. He has Duke beating Clemson. So good luck. And I was forced to stick with the Wyoming Cowboys. Wyoming +14 against the Wyoming +14 against Texas Tech. So there, ladies and gentlemen, are the picks for week 1. You can see them, see what we're doing, take a picture, make your choices as you like. I like them. I think we've got a good start. I think we got a good start to the week in college football. We're going to come back, wrap up the show, tell you a little bit about what the baseball items going on here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. It's our Take the Points edition. Back in a sec.
Make Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield your fashion leader. We're the little boutique with the big inventory of beautiful, trendy outfits and clothing in a wide array of your favorite name brands. And don't forget our large selection of jewelry and accessories. Carnaby Square is Southern Illinois' largest dealer of Brighton. At Carnaby Square, we take pride in our one-on-one, knowledgeable customer service and look forward to helping you create your own special look. Plus, always free gift wrapping. Find endless gift ideas 24/7 at CarnabySquare.com and on our Facebook page. Shop the fashion leader in downtown Fairfield, Carnaby Square.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
Napa know-how.
At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa know-how experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa know-how at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just giggling. I saw somebody somebody trying to sell 40-year-old soda. And tried to goad me into buying 40-year-old soda. It's in the Illini Rose Bowl Pepsi bottle or something like that. I'm not. We'll see. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. As you see, it is the Friday before Labor Day. That makes it wear your college colors day, and of course, college football is starting this weekend in earnest and all over the place. Everybody's playing, so try to watch some of that. But how frustrating is it? You're watching Cardinals play. You're watching Adam Wainwright go for his 200th win. He's 2 wins away. He pitches great. He pitched the last 2 outings. He's pitched pretty doggone good for a 42-year-old man. He turned 42 on Wednesday. I remember 42. It wasn't that long ago. And he's a 42-year-old man pitching in the major leagues. He's pitched well the last couple of games, and nobody's scoring any runs. Is that the most frustrating thing you've seen in a while? Well, look at the bright side. We're not Angels fans. As the American League, here's what the American League looks like right now. And you see the little E down there by the Kansas City Royals and the Oakland Athletics. That means they have been mathematically eliminated as we're still in August. Both those teams mathematically eliminated from playoff contention with about 30 games to go. They've played 135, so 27 games to go. 135 for Kansas City, 134 for Oakland. Yeah, that's a tough one, but for the grace of goodness, go us, because we'll have the Cardinals in the same place here in about a week or two. But in the American League East, how about those Baltimore Orioles? Come back a little bit to to the pack. Last week when we were looking at them, the Orioles up 3 games or 3 or 4 games. Now the Rays have drawn them back a little bit. That's 83-50 is an outstanding record. They're leading the American League, as you can see. The Minnesota Twins in the Central, 5 games ahead. Look like they're going to win it. The fun one there is out west. The Seattle Mariners and the Texas Rangers. This, by the way, was taken Thursday afternoon. The Seattle Mariners and the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros all tussling over the West Division crown. And that's the thing. The West is like 5 or 6 games ahead of the Central. So if you get that West Division title, it's a big deal. You get a bye into the playoffs. So that's if you're the third division team, you've got to play a play-in. That's what the Cardinals did last year. The Cardinals won the division, had to play the Phillies in a play-in, got beat, and the division title, poof, off it goes. It doesn't matter. So it's the Mariners trying to win. That's a big deal. Here's what the American League wild card looks like. Tampa Bay in outstanding shape, as they are 6.5 games above the Blue Jays, or above the Rangers for the third wild card spot. So a lot of work to do for people if they want to catch Tampa. Then you've got the Blue Jays 2.5 games back from the Rangers. Really, looking at this, it looks like the Blue Jays and the Red Sox just about the only teams with a chance to get into the American League playoffs. So the fun things to watch down the road in the American League. The American League West, as well as probably the American League East. Guardians have a shot. They've got to turn things around like right now, being 5 games down. What about in the National League? Let's take a look over there. How about those Atlanta Braves, the leading all of baseball? And of course, as you recall, it counts now if you have the higher winning percentage, that means you get the World Series. So that's a big deal for the Braves. The Braves, again, at 659, they're going to win that division. They're 13 games up. The Central, the Cubs have been making a run at the Brewers, but the Brewers this week just kind of started trying to slam the door on the Cubs. They had a really good week against the Cubs. And as you can see, the Reds 3 games back of that at only 5-11. The Reds out of the wild card chase as of this point. A game back of the Giants and Cubs. So 2 games back of the Cubs, 3 games back of the Cubs. But Diamondbacks, and I don't think you can really rule out the Miami Marlins as yet. They've got some good starting pitching. They've got some good defense. They've got a shot. This is just fascinating to me how loaded this is. There are 6 teams vying for basically 2 spots. If you count the Phillies already in, 5 teams going for 2 spots when you think of the Cubs and the Giants. The Cubs, like I said, playing the Reds 4 games this weekend. Cubs at the Reds for 4 games, 2 on Friday, 2 today, and then 1 again on Saturday and Sunday. It's difficult. I understand it. It's difficult to watch baseball when college football is going now. NFL starts next week, a week from yesterday. First NFL game is on Thursday night after Labor Day. And a lot of folks have been probably loading up their fantasy leagues and doing all that kind of stuff. We'll get to the NFL. Next week's going to be a big NFL show, I think, but we'll get to that. But there's still all kinds of Major League Baseball as well as college football to look at. It's going to be an outstanding Labor Day weekend. Hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy the weather before it gets hot again. It might be getting hot early next week, but it's not going to get as hot as last week. Get out and enjoy a high school sporting event if you like. There's all kinds of good stuff going on there. We'll be bringing them several to you over the next week or 2. You are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch Watch TV, and we do appreciate you tuning in. Anytime you want to get a hold of me, right there, Bruce D at wabash.net, or you give me a call at 618-665-9970. Thanks so much for tuning in now and always. We do appreciate it. You have a great weekend.